a dear fellow millennial, please stop being an idiot. And if you do, you too could become a responsible adult in this country. Signed, the rest of the generations. Hey Team Healthy Republic, if you're new around here, I'm Katie, and I want this once great republic to get back in the saddle, Gene Autry style, and ride off into the sunset. Right now, we live amongst a bunch of entitled millennials who would never ride a horse because that's animal cruelty.
How dare you!
Anyway, today I'm talking about my generation and how we have no understanding of freedom and what comes with that freedom, i.e., responsibility. Now, before you start yelling at me through the screen, I do understand that there are plenty of people in every generation who don't actually take responsibility.
My responsibility as president will be to represent the whole nation. And I want you to know that I'll work as hard for those who voted against me as those who voted for me.
Exhibit A. I'll get to Joe's contribution in all this later in the video, so stay tuned. If you do love freedom and actually take responsibility, unlike Joe, please take a hot second to give a good old subscribe to the new Healthy Republic YouTube page so we can build it up. We had to start a new channel because we are so blatantly censored. YouTube even told us so. And that brings us to today's question. What is your biggest pet peeve about the millennial generation? I know. I just opened up Pandora's box, and it will never be shut again. Let me know in the comments, and then I'll make sure to have my safety blanket wrapped around me while reading your responses.
These are the dumbest people I've ever met in my life. Not personally, just as a group. Do me a favor, put some cash in your pocket, grease your debit cards every $1.17 purchase. I get so tired of standing behind on a mini mart. That's $1.17. Here's my debit card. You don't have a buck and a quarter?
Apparently not. A new survey by Pyments and Lending Club shows that 60% of millennials, specifically the ones making more than $100,000 per year, are living paycheck to paycheck. Let me repeat, 3 of every 5 millennials who make more than $100,000 per year are living paycheck to paycheck. And millennials in general, 70%, so 7 of 10, live paycheck to paycheck. The definition of paycheck to paycheck is paying your monthly bills and having pretty much nothing left over.
Listen, Linda. Listen.
Okay, what?
PSA time. If you alone make more than $100,000 a year and you are just paying bills, look at what your bills consist of. And then get rid of your iPhone, all of your subscriptions to weekly and monthly food delivery boxes, and stop drinking so hard on the weekends. I'm no Dave Ramsey, and I know that, but it doesn't take a lot of brain power to figure out why you don't have so much money. I'm going to go with you wasted 5 years for an overly priced piece of paper that says you graduated from college with a degree in pick any humanities field, and you now ask people if they want extra whip on their Frappuccino.
Well, why you pouring me? I'm right.
But I guess there is a name for those of you who have above and beyond that $100,000. They're called Henrys. A Henry is a high earner, not rich yet. It's a term to describe people who earn high incomes, usually between $250 to $500K, but have not invested enough to be considered rich. Most Henrys' incomes are consumed by consumer spending, educational costs, and housing. Don't be a Henry, or a Karen for that matter. One more tidbit on this matter. I've been informed that $100,000 is now considered middle class, which means I'm on the poor list. So apparently my white privilege isn't so privileged. But at least I have the child tax credit, right? This past week was the first installment of the Biden tax credits. So if you see some people out there buying a third 70-inch TV to put in their apartment, throw up a thank you to Joe Biden, or just throw up.
First and foremost, I want to thank you for choosing us and believing that America is worthy of your aspirations.
Your aspirations. If we've learned anything from all of these handouts from the government daddy for so many of you, it's that money grows on trees. Except it really doesn't, and my generation will be broke for always and ever if we continue believing that lie. My kids will inherit all the debt, and their kids too. But at least with personal finances, I'll teach them upright with that whole responsibility thing.
I will not buy stupid for no reason.
Another PSA for those who may not have known, like me. If you don't want to get the monthly reminders of how much money the Biden administration is throwing away, you have to opt out. Not opt in, but opt out. And if you choose to do so and file taxes jointly with your spouse, then you both must opt out. That process may involve scanning of important documents like driver's license, which I thought was racist, your social security card, a passport, a bill with your address on it, a face scan, and then having to have a video chat with a Washington bureaucrat to verify that you are you. Not that I have any experience with this. I'm just thankful that Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez is here to help. She's a resident expert on getting taxpayer money out to the masses. She lets her Instagram followers know just how to get that government money. She's one of those millennials who makes way more than $100,000, but who also complains about not having enough money. Maybe she shouldn't drive a $59,000 Tesla and park it illegally. You know those parking tickets will add up.
You don't know if I'll be able to do that.
She probably won't be able to do that, but AOC is a progressive. And if you say it's all about progressing, she can just keep repeating all the lies that progressing is progressing.
I think it absolutely is a progressive victory. And the reason for that is because if you look at the top lines of this bill, the expansion of Medicare to include vision, healthcare, and dental, when you include the Civilian Climate Corps, which was a major provision that I introduced along with Senator Markey 2 years ago as outlined in the Green New Deal. When we talk about record infrastructure investment in building thousands of EV chargers and billions of dollars in rail infrastructure in this country, we would not have an infrastructure package of this scale without the progressive movement of everyday people across the United States.
I'll say what you're thinking. How do we pay for this infrastructure proposal of $3.5 trillion, AOC? The infrastructure proposal that isn't really infrastructure much at all. And with the pinch of inflation across the country, what is your genius idea, AOC? Oh, wait, you just think it's temporary inflation and not a big deal because, it's sector specific.
Well, here's the deal with inflation is that if we do not get the root cause of these price increases right, then policy decisions could be made that could really negatively impact your life, boost unemployment, and again, increase interest rates. And we do not want that. So it's really important that we get the diagnosis right into what's going into these price increases. When you look at what actual prices are going up, it's in very specific sectors.
Absolutely. Very specific sectors that we all use daily. Building supplies, driving costs, housing. I eat every day. I mean, maybe AOC doesn't.
Well, I do cheddar if I can.
Right.
American if I have to.
AOC is a prime example of what the millennial generation suffers from. It's a lack of understanding or caring about the cost of freedom. It comes with responsibility, not entitlement. Yet we've been told that we deserve more money in the name of equity. It's our right. So she lies and encourages all of her sycophants.
So you won't take down lies or you will take down lies? I think this is just a pretty simple yes or no.
Simple, and yet we don't take the steps to live a little more simply. There is so much to say on this topic that I'm probably going to do some special tutorial videos for my generation, or really any generation, on how to live a bit more parsimoniously. Living with spending less greenbacks gives us our lives back. Until next time, stay healthy, America.